Okay. Hey guys, it's your girl Lonnie and I'm back with another video. So, I know I've been going for I think 3 weeks. I think it's been 3 weeks. Possibly 4 weeks since I've posted a video. Well, by the title you can tell, this is my story of being 9 months pregnant and having COVID. I am currently tested negative for COVID. I'm over that hump. I still have some symptoms though. Like, I'm still coughing. I can't taste or smell anything, but for the most part I'm better. So you might hear me cough a little crazy throughout this video. But anyway, so about 2 weeks ago, we went to a birthday party, and we went swimming, and you know how you get in the water and then you come outside and it's really cold, you can get sick. So me and my son were coughing the night of the pool party, so I didn't think nothing of it. And then so that was Saturday. So Sunday I felt a little off, a little tired, but I was still functioning. And then came Monday, I tried to go out and do something, and I was just like, I have to lay down. I'm tired. So I came home and I laid down and laid down all day and slept. Those people who know me know that I can't sit still. So for me to lay down, I have to be tired or something's wrong. So it came close to time for me to get the kids. I texted my boyfriend can you pick up the kids? I'm not feeling well. So he picked up the kids. And then I think he took them to school the next day. But so I know my body. I know when something's not right. So I was telling my boyfriend, I think it was Tuesday night, I'm like, something's not right. I want to go to the hospital. And he's like, oh, and I was being considerate. He at work the next day. So I was like, I'll just go in the house, lay down. I'll go to the hospital in the morning. But I noticed my legs was hurting when I went to lay down. It was just unbearable to the point where I was crying. So I'm like, nope, I'm getting up. I'm going to the hospital. I didn't even wake him up. I just drove myself to the hospital. Drive myself to the hospital. Get to the hospital, check myself in. Because I'm pregnant, they don't know, they're saying there's COVID symptoms. So they don't know if they want to put me on the maternity floor or leave me in the ER. So I saw a couple of nurses going back and forth. Anyways, they end up leaving me in the ER, taking me back, put me in the ER. But I had my room had these clear doors, and it had a sign you have to ask before coming in there because it's potentially contagious. So I need to take my vitals and stuff before I get back to my room. I'm sorry. And I just automatically start getting hot. And I'm like, why am I hot? I take off my coat, my hat, my sweater. Anyway, so I'm still hot in the room. And I'm sorry, y'all. I'm hungry. So, you know, I get back in the room. They ask all the questions, blah, 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 blah. Lady comes in the room with a paper talking about COVID and this antibodies before she even tested me for COVID, having COVID. She's already weighing it out as COVID. So I kind of just, you know, took the paper and said whatever. But she's like, oh, you should read about it, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'll read about it, but that don't mean I'm gonna take it. So she goes to proceed to say no. So she, you know, she leaves or whatever. I read the paper. It's all fine and dandy, but I'm just not. I'm sketchy about medicine. If I cannot take medicine, I will not take medicine. If I could take a herb or something like that, something natural, before I take some medicine, I will. So, I'm laying down. I had to lay down because, first of all, the lights was getting on my nerves. I turned out the lights. I had to wet me a couple of paper towels, put on my head, because I was hot. Then I would get cold. And I laid down. I finally took a little nap. And then nurse comes in. She's like, oh, we're going to take your blood. And we have to do a COVID and flu test. It's in one. So she did that. Whatever. They did what they did, sent to the labs, whatever. About like an hour or two later, the doctor comes back in. She's like, oh, you're positive for COVID. And I'm like, oh, damn. So, you know, she's offering that antibody thing. Okay. But, if you know, like I know, when you catch any virus, your body develops its own antibodies. So, I'm like, I gotta call my parents. I'm like, I gotta call my parents. Wait. She said, all right, I'll come back. I'm blowing up my mom's phone because she has my kids. I'm blowing up my dad's phone. Well, I'm blowing up my boyfriend's phone, let him know that I'm positive. He can't go to work. My dad was the only one that answered. And he's all for the COVID test. And the vaccination. He's fully vaccinated. And he's pushing me to do the antibodies, you know. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's still my choice. It's my body. So, excuse me. So, then eventually I got hold of my mom. And she's like, oh, hell no. No. Your body, you know, this is only antibodies, blah, 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 blah. So, I weigh my options. I think about it. I don't want it. Doctor finally comes back in and she's like, oh, so we're doing it? I'm like, no. She goes out her face. Oh, you're a fool. That's foolish of you. I had COVID. I got the antibodies, blah, 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 blah. So I'm already pissed because who the hell are you calling foolish? That's one, that's unprofessional. Number two, like, this who are you? So, she said what she had to say. I said what I had to say. They still have to check on the baby because, again, I'm 9 months pregnant. So she's like, yeah, okay. So now we have to have, because you're positive for COVID, we can't take you upstairs to the maternity level. So they have to come down here. They're going to monitor the baby. So I said, okay, cool. And they finally come down. They're fully, like, suited up, like, mask, shield, gown, like. They use the Dapper to listen to the baby's heart. She says everything sounds good. Then they hook you up to those. If you've been pregnant before, you know those little circle things, and they put the belt around and put the other belt around. They hooked me up to that. And she's like, oh, you know, we have to listen. We have to monitor you for at least 20 minutes. Okay, cool. So the thing is going, thing's gone. They're outside the door, you know, kind of listening. So, the girl finally comes back in. And, she looks at the paper like, oh, it wasn't recorded. And then she presses a button. Come on, her. So she obviously didn't press the button for it to record on the paper. So now, all that time I'm sitting there for nothing. So she goes out and she said, oh, we have to do it again. Fine. But she only does it for 10 minutes. Now, you know you need it for 20 minutes. That's the least time you can do it for. She only does it for 10. I'm like, okay, whatever. Maybe they can use the 10. So, they do the 10 minutes, whatever she takes the paper, the machine, or whatever. I have to get my results read. I kid you not, 3 hours go by, right? Here it is. I done took a nap, woke back up. Nobody has come in the room, said anything. So, I'm not ringing the bell, my nurse bell, because I'm like, what is going on? Like, no, I know I got COVID. My oxygen levels are good. Everything's good. So I know I don't have to stay here. We just wait to hear, see if the baby's okay. And finally sending a nurse. Someone comes down from, mind you, they done changed shifts, nurses and all that stuff. So another lady comes down like, oh, I'm coming to get your papers. So I can take about sitting and read it. I said, the girl who did it took it. And that was like 3 hours ago. So I hear them outside the door. They done lost my damn results somewhere. Like, in crossing and shift changing, like, the communication sucked. So I'm hot because I'm ready to go home. So, I think I waited another hour and a half. Nobody coming there. Mind you, I'm hungry. I'm pregnant, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty. Like, they didn't give me anything. So, I was there. Oh, was a nurse in there. I waited like 15, 20 minutes. Nobody came. I got dressed. And I let the lady know this. I said, let my nurse know that I'm leaving. I'm pregnant. I'm hungry. I'm not getting no results. Nobody telling me anything what's going on. I'm leaving. So that's what I did. So it wasn't that bad at first. And now, the next day, I'm home. And that same day, the kids went and got tested. My boyfriend went and got tested. He tested negative. The kids tested positive, but they're not showing any symptoms or like anything wrong, so they're just up regular. So a day went by. I was doing okay. And next thing you know, it started getting hard for me to breathe. I'm frustrated. So, I told my boyfriend, like, you wanted to drop me off at the hospital. We're not going back to the hospital. So he took me to another hospital. It's a women's hospital. I was frustrated. I could not breathe. So I was kind of being a little hard on them at first. Like, I need some oxygen. I can't breathe. But they wouldn't give it to me where I was because it, something about it can leak in the air or something like that. I don't know. So, excuse me. I broke down crying. I'm frustrated and I need something to open my lungs up. But, hold on, I forgot a part. I ended up at the hospital because I did try and contact my doctor on 2 occasions and nobody got back to me. What you looking at, lady? And that's a whole nother story. But yeah, nobody got back to me. I was like, oh, if they don't call you in 20 minutes, call us back. Like, why do I gotta keep calling y'all back? First of all, this is OBG. Y'all supposed to always have somebody on call. What is the problem? And I'm like, by the time I get a response back, I'll be dead because of y'all. I can't breathe. I'm going to the hospital. So, yeah, that's how I ended up at the hospital. But anyway, the girl was taking my vitals. I broke down like, I can't breathe. Like, it's a lot. She was like, I understand I had COVID like a month ago. And I cried too. But being pregnant, having COVID is probably something different. Yes, it is something different. So she had to talk to her supervisor. And her supervisor, you know, they did an EKG. She made her do an EKG. And she's like, oh, they're cleaning your room. That's going to be your room. So, like, after she did the EKG, I sat back down. 5 minutes later, she got a wheelchair and wheeled me to my room. And in my room, like, once I got in the room, I used the bathroom. I had to go. And when I came out that bath, I thought I was going to die. That I couldn't breathe. After I got out that bathroom, all I knew was, Milani, these are doctors in this hospital, but you know who your real doctor is. And that's the Lord. And I cried and prayed and cried and prayed Like, God, I can't breathe. I need you to open my lungs. I don't want to die. I have 2 children and I have one on the way. I need to breathe. I cannot breathe. These doctors is taking too long, and I know that you are my doctor and you can do things that they can't do. Next thing you know, excuse me. I had to blow my nose so bad out of nowhere. And all the snot just came out. Mucus just came out of my nose. And I was able to breathe a little bit. So I kind of calmed down after that. So then the nurse came in and asked me all the questions. I was calm. And, you know, when she left the room, I said, you know, thank you, God, for opening me up a little bit. So then this doctor came in. And, you know, he asked me, you know, all the questions or whatever. Who's my OB, this, that, and the third. He was like, okay, we're going to do an x-ray, an EKG. I said I already had an EKG when I first got here. He said, we're going to do blood work. And they're going to put my finger on the thing to see how my oxygen is when I walk. If I'm losing breath then. And then we'll go from there to test you to see if you have pneumonia. So I said, okay. Next thing you know, like 15 minutes later, here comes the lady to take the x-ray of my chest. Nice lady. And she, you know, she was trying to keep my spirits high. So she did that. And when she left, I put on a sermon to just keep my mind, you know, because the devil likes to get to your mind too. Keep my mind, you know, off the negative thoughts and things they say about COVID. So then I had to go knock on my door for them to give me some water that, you know, helped me too. My mouth was dry. So they gave me water. They gave me 2 things of water. So I was able to drink and I felt better after that. And then that's when these other nurses came in. She was like, oh, we need a urine sample. We need to draw your blood. And we got to do the walking test to test your oxygen. So, you know, they did all of that. And, you know, they sent the results or whatever. The doctor eventually comes back in and says, oh, well, you don't have pneumonia. It's just COVID. You know, I know you're pregnant. You say you can't breathe. I don't want you leaving here without an inhaler, without having anything. So I said, okay. I knew that it was going to take a minute for them to get that inhaler and stuff because it's a hospital. And it was after I was like the Walgreens in the hospital. You know, they normally have that in the hospital. It's closed. So I'm like, they probably got to go to the basement to find this. So which it ended up taking a minute to find. And she came and she was like, girl, you don't know what I had to go through to find this. So they gave me like the thing, but they didn't let me keep the medicine. They gave me 2 pumps or whatever. That helped, but I knew I needed more. Thank God my boyfriend drove to his mom's house, which is like 35-40 minutes away from where we live, to get his mom's inhaler. She had an extra one. And so, you know, he's picking me up from the hospital. So I took one of her pumps too. And I felt better. And I was able to sleep that night. Until in the morning where we can get my prescription filled. They prescribed me albuterol. So I felt better. And that's one thing that told me. He was like, oh, well, you have to pee, you're going to feel better. So I felt better the next day. And then, like, when I had COVID, like, I had every other day was like up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. I am happy I'm not fully, I'm like 85, 95. No, I'm like 85% better. I still have a cough. I still can't taste. I still can't smell. But that comes back with that in time. And from what I heard, it takes time. So I'm just happy to be able to kind of breathe and get back to me, because I was miserable, and I don't wish that on nobody. And thank God I had my cousin who as well caught COVID. So we, I would talk with her, see how she felt, give her tips on things that I would do, help me, she would give me tips. And thank God for my boyfriend. God knew what he was doing, having him not be sick, because the kids still had school virtual. And it was just some days I couldn't get up. I was tired. But I really don't wish that on nobody. But I'm thankful for him. I'm very grateful for him, because I wouldn't have been able to do this by myself. I really wouldn't have. Now, I've been tested and I am negative. Thank God. And I think there are still some COVID after effects, because my throat still is like chapped. Like, it's not 100%. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. My tongue, I can't taste nothing. But I'm just happy to be alive. Happy that my baby okay. I'm happy that my kids are okay. I'm happy that my boyfriend's okay. And two, the other people that were around, because before we knew we had COVID, my kids were around my nephew, my newborn nephew, my sister, my mom. My mom tested negative. Her boyfriend tested negative. I'm just happy everything, went the way it went. I thank God for allowing me to be here. But, yeah, I don't wish this on nobody, especially not a pregnant woman. Excuse me. But yeah, that's my COVID story. And now I'm currently 37 weeks. And I'm on track to have this baby. Excuse me. But having COVID has taught me that, never take nothing for granted. Take care of your body. Because once I'm 100% and I have this baby, I am going hard on myself. But I want to thank you guys for watching. For my returning followers, love you guys. Thank you guys. For anyone who's new, thank you for watching, and hopefully you'll consider subscribing to my channel. I just want to say I love you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I don't know if I had a lot of stuff lined up for this month, like holiday stuff. I wanted to do Vlogmas, but of course COVID came and changed everything for me. So I'm pretty much focusing on getting my house together before this baby come, and just really, you know, I'm better, but I'm not 100%. So I don't know if I'll try and record some things. Like, I still need to record what's in my baby bag, but I'm not gonna push myself if I don't feel good or I'm feeling like shortness of breath or stuff like that. I'm really gonna take this time before this baby to kind of heal my body, my mind, you know, just everything. But I just want to say I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Happy holidays. And I'll see you guys soon. Peace. Love you.